G'day Motorheads, welcome to the video. If you've been following the channel lately, you may have seen that recently I did a 5-day road trip out to Broken Hill and to Silverton for the Silverton Saddle Up. After that series went up on my channel, I had some people messaging me and contacting me about the kind of gear that I used for that 5-day road trip. So I thought I'd just jump on and quickly run you through all the gear I used for that trip. And first off, beginning with this. This is a 2010 plated Triumph Street Triple 675, one of the last of the bug eye models. I've owned this bike since brand new, and it currently has over 93,000 Ks on it, and it did tick over 90,000 Ks on that 5-day road trip out to Broken Hill. Now I do want to give a special shout out to City Coast Motorcycles. Now you know, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know I do have a working relationship with them. But aside from that, these guys have always been there for me and have always looked after this bike and kept it in tip-top shape. Whether I've had questions, where I needed parts, and of course services, even anything last minute that I've been stuck without riding, these guys have done their best to accommodate me and the Red Devil. So thank you once again to City Coast Motorcycles. Okay, so starting with the back of the bike, I've got this Ogio Tail Bag, which is expandable. I've had it for about 6 or 7 years. Fits the bike quite well. I just had camera gear in here, toiletries, spare pair of jeans, some rain pants, as well as a puncture kit to get me out of trouble if I needed to, and some basic tools. So that was pretty much all kept in that. So my idea was to have everything in here only when I needed it at the end of the day. Other than that, I didn't really need to go into this bag. So that's the Ogio Tail Bag. So that was first up on the bike. Next up, I had this 20-litre dry bag that I picked up from Kmart for around $12 to $15. And this had all my gear in it, all my clothes for the weekend, for the 5-day road trip. So this had all my gear, all my clothes, and it just sat there on top like that. To which then I fastened down with some Oki straps on a crisscross, just like that. So that just sort of, to give you a rough idea, that sort of sat down and it hooked in under the straps of the tail bag, so that sat nice and snug. I had a rain cover over that on the odd chance I was going to get rain and dust and stuff, which I didn't. So that worked out, other than the last day actually. On the way home I got a little bit of rain, but it was hardly anything. Then on top of that, I had this cargo net, which obviously kept everything nice and secure. Now when this thing was fully loaded, it was up at about here, so it was a bit difficult for me to swing the leg over, but on those longer trips, with this being nice and high, it actually gave me a really nice backrest. So that actually worked out really well. I was really happy with that sort of setup. It was more than enough for me. You guys would have seen the video, so it wasn't camping, it was all in hotel rooms. But this pretty much, for all my gear, some tools, toiletries and stuff, this was more than enough for me for a single bloke on a 5-day road trip. So moving to the front of the bike, I've got this Nelson Rigg commuter light tank bag, which had pretty much all the stuff that I needed on hand. Extra camera batteries, like selfie stick, all those things that I needed to sort of get to during the day that I didn't need to get out of this back end of the bike. That worked really well. I really like the Nelson Rigg stuff. If I was ever to replace my tail bag one day, I'd definitely stick with the Nelson Rigg brand. I just like a lot of their stuff, what they do, and to me there's different variations of bags, from the front end tank bags to the rear end, and they suit a lot of motorcycle styles. I think you can't go wrong. Obviously I've got a metal tank, so this just sat on there with the magnets. It also does come with when I bought it, it does come with the strap, so you can rig it up to like a plastic tank and clip it into the strap. So that comes as a complete kit. It also comes with a rain cover as well, but that worked really well. And it also has this big clear pocket at the front, which I used for my phone for navigation. I've also run the Gub phone holder, so between the two, but majority of the time the phone sat in there because it was nice and snug. It was secure, it wasn't going anywhere, and I could run navigation off that. So that worked really well, and I'd highly recommend that. Alright, I also had these basic Bluetooth earbuds that I picked up also from Kmart. I think they were about 20 bucks. And I was running music through them, as well as the navigation directions directly Bluetooth from my phone. They worked really well. They sit nice and snug and easily sit under the helmet. So for something basic, they worked. They did the trick, so I can't complain with that. So the gloves that I used for the trip are these yellow leather gloves from By City, which I picked up here locally from Black Metal Moto Co. Like a cafe racer style summer glove. Yes, they have no protection, knuckle protection and stuff. They are primarily a summer glove. But I tell you what, these are so comfortable. From the first day I put these on, they feel like I've been wearing them for years. They don't have that sort of break-in period sometimes that you have with certain gloves. I mean, so yeah, they're the perfect summer glove. I've got a pair in yellow. Alright, so they're so nice and so comfortable. I enjoyed them so much that I actually even bought myself a green pair as well. So leather gloves, sort of cafe racer style gloves from By City Moto. Picked up here locally from Black Metal Moto Co here in Port Kembla. So the jacket I used is just my simple, cheap summer no-name jacket with the Triumph patch that I've put on. So that worked well and that was enough. Okay, so the helmet I use is the Shark Evo 3. It's a modular helmet. And then I just use a temporary sort of removable chin mount just because of it doesn't interfere with the button that lifts up the chin bar. Had it for quite a while and it seems to work well for me. I like it, especially wearing glasses and that. I just don't have to take them off when I'm whipping the helmet on and off for most days. I've got a couple other helmets, but this is pretty much my go-to helmet. So this is the Shark Evo 3 with the removable chin mount that I just had the camera mounted on. So the camera that I do use is the Osmo Action 3 camera. I just use that for an action camera, as well as I use my phone for static photos and stuff like that, and stuff when I'm walking around. If I'm not using the Action 3, I'm just using my phone, which works quite well. So guys, I was so fortunate enough to experience this 5-day road trip out to Broken Hill with some of the locations, the roads and things that I've only seen growing up as a kid. To actually be out there and be amongst it, I had such a good time and I would recommend it to anyone. Whether it be on 4 wheels or 2 wheels, if you do get the opportunity to get out there, and for that matter get anywhere, go and do it. You'd be so glad you did. So of course guys, I will have everything linked in the description down below, from some of the sites and the places that I went to, as well as the 3 motel rooms I stayed over this trip. I will say this, the motel rooms were fine. They were spacious, they were clean, and they were reasonably priced. So if you're interested and if you're at any of those locations that I stayed in, check out the description because I'll have everything there for you to have a look at yourself. So guys, that was just a quick rundown on the gear that I used for the Broken Hill Silverton Saddle Up. So I hope you all enjoyed it. You know what to do, hit the thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel. And so with that being said guys, who knows where I may travel to in future. So motorheads, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you out on the road.